ADV, baby. ADV daily.
Adventure daily. 2 hours back to where we were 2 days ago. But this time we're in a cage. We're not on the helix, so.
Forward, baby.
Might be more reliable on the helix. You just look.
Hey. So after the big disappointment that was the Ural, we were left with a few options. Like I said, the main purpose of this new bike is so that we can haul a diesel around. So I actually was looking at a Goldwing that had a sidecar. I was scheduled to go see it, but the morning of, the guy said it wouldn't start and he thought that the starter had failed. So that ended up not working out, and then I started looking at adventure bikes. I came across a Super Tenere and it kind of sparked my interest. So we bought it. Yes guys, we bought the most boring ADV bike on the market. I think it pretty much explains itself when a popular member in the ADV community, Mr. Dork in the Road, comments, "Interesting choice. I heard they're heavy as f***." And that pretty much describes the Super Tenere. I'm officially a boomer. But it's always been a dream of mine to take diesel along on some of these adventures, hence why we were looking at the Ural. So on the Ténéré forum, I actually saw multiple people that towed trailers with these bikes, and that sparked my interest. Why not do a trailer instead of a sidecar? It's way more practical, functional, and whenever I don't want to have diesel, I can just disconnect the trailer and then have a normal bike rather than a sidecar. So this made sense, and this is how we ended up with the S10. Now the XT1000Z Elemento P, whatever the hell it's called, it's 1200 cc's, almost, of extremely boring power. You can actually do an ECU flash that unlocks an extra 20 horsepower on this bike, which is absolutely crazy that they're just hiding that inside the motor. But apart from that, it is super smooth, it is easy to ride, weighing in at almost 600 pounds. You would think that it would feel really heavy, but it honestly doesn't. Once you get up and get moving, it is super well balanced, it wears its weight down low, and in my case, the extra weight is gonna help me while towing a trailer. I don't wanna have my trailer pulling the bike all over the place. Diesel weighs about 90 pounds. If I get a lightweight aluminum trailer, depending on the wheels that are on it, it should weigh a couple 100 pounds loaded down, but it should be plenty. The power that this bike has, the solid frame, it's shaft drive too, which is awesome. To have a bike this heavy, I don't want to be messing with it. Not much electronics on this bike, which I'll talk about later, but it is definitely a big bike. So as a dirt bike rider, why did I go on the heavier end of the spectrum? Well, that's exactly it. I have my dirt bikes for the technical stuff, so I don't want to sacrifice any comfort on the road. I'm fine with it being big, I'm fine with it being heavy, and do I plan on off-roading this? I'm not sure yet. I'm not 100% sold on this bike, but I definitely wanted to give it a shot. I think it really is one of the most underrated ADV bikes on the market. I feel like you get a lot with your money and you get a lot of reliability. And that's a peace of mind when you're on a touring bike and you're traveling cross country. I don't want to worry about electronic failures. I don't want to worry about chain maintenance. I don't want to have to worry about anything. I just want to enjoy the ride. And so far, I've put over 1,000 miles on this bike already, and let me tell you, it does just that. I can hop on this thing and go anywhere. Fuel economy isn't the greatest. I was a little bit disappointed. I've been hovering around 40, if not lower. Granted, my average speeds have been a little high, and I definitely get into the power on this a lot. Since it is so slow, it's fun to ring it out and give it the berries. Once you get over 4,000 RPM, this thing just falls flat on its face. But this thing is a torque monster. I really do think it is a tow rig, but here's my next problem. Nobody makes a hitch for this bike. So there used to be a guy that went by Z06 on the forums and he custom made a bunch of hitches, but that was before my time. If anybody has one of these hitches or can give me some kind of blueprint, let me know. I've been dissecting pictures and trying to figure out something that we can fabricate, but it has to be safe, it has to be reliable, and I know the ones that he made were pretty solid. So as with everything on the Adventure Daily channel, this bike is not promised. I am not sold yet, I'm just testing it out. And so far, as a young guy, I am overall pleased. It is boring. I definitely want to flash the ECU and feel that extra power. Do I think I'm going to spend the money on it? Probably not. And as a touring bike, other than a few things with the ergonomics that I need to dial in, it is solid, it's comfortable. But we were hitting some back roads this morning on the way to the dermatologist. Yes, I got to get my skin checked. And after, we're going to hit the highway, go pick up a Lexus, and head down to Southern Ohio to enjoy this beautiful day. All right, so we're all done at the dermatologist. No cancer. I got one spot froze off, but I just wanted to get my body checked because my family has a long history of skin cancer. My mom's side of the family is very fair skinned, which is unfortunately what I got. And my dad's side is tan, almost black. But thankfully I did get a little bit of that gene because I can tan up decent as long as I'm out in the sun quite a bit. And it's just a peace of mind to know that I don't have any problem spots on me or any cancer. So now that that is done, we are on our way to pick up a Lexus. For this video, I wanted to do a little bit of a longer ride, so we're gonna head down towards Wayne National Forest. There's a lot of beautiful roads down there. Stop, go get some lunch, maybe hit up one of the trailheads, and we're gonna do a little bit of everything. We're gonna do some highway cruising, started out the morning with some back roads, and just see how versatile this thing really is. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be doing any off-roading. I'm not exactly dressed for it. I'm not dressed to ride at all, actually, but hey, it's 90 frickin' degrees outside. Can't blame me. Also, I'm not 100% sold on this bike yet, and I don't want to take it off-road, especially not having a cage, because if this thing goes down once, boom, goes the plastics. And on this bike, they actually integrated the radiators sideways into these fairings right here, which is smart for airflow, but I don't think they could take much of a beating off-road. But one thing that this bike does not have that I was not aware of, I thought it was standard on all of the models, is cruise control. So there's no factory cruise. This thing is pretty bare bones other than ABS and traction control, which you cannot turn the ABS off, which for off-road it sucks. There's some cheat codes to disable it temporarily, but why they didn't put a button to disable it altogether on an adventure bike is just beyond me. Some people, they might like that, but for me, the electronics just get in the way. Other than that, the cockpit is very simple. Not a lot of electronics to see. Must be nice! Alright guys, we're cruising through Columbus right now. Got a Lexus on the back, just picked her up, and we are headed south. Check out this jalopy. That's what you need next, Lexus. On the highway, this thing is super comfortable. I mean, you can cruise 85, 90 with minimal wind with this windshield, and it's just a super nice place to be. I do wish it had cruise control, but it is what it is. I can get throttle lock, or I wish you could install the factory cruise, but I haven't really looked into it. I'm not sure if this is just like the base model or they didn't add cruise until later models, because I know they still make this bike. I'm not a big highway guy. I know there's a lot of room for error, a lot of dumb drivers, so I try to stay off the highway as much as possible, but if you're traveling on a bike, it's kind of inevitable.
A beautiful day for a ride. It's kind of humid though.
Oh my god, it's Wayne National Forest, guys! Go hit door run loop real quick on the Ténéré. I'm definitely dressed for it. So I hope you enjoyed this experience with me. This is my first adventure bike. I'm pretty excited about it. The bags are super convenient, the Yamaha factory bags. Those are actually worth a lot of money. I see the appeal as a touring bike. As far as off-roading, fire roads, 2-track, I wouldn't want to get any crazier than that unless you're a very experienced rider, because when this thing falls, it's gonna be really hard to get up, especially in some tricky situations. I've even seen people put winches on these bikes, no joke. But I was always curious, what's the hype with the adventure bikes? And so far, it's another case of not being good at any particular thing, but being okay at everything. Is it the best bike for the road? No, I'd rather be on a Goldwing. Is it the best off-road? Definitely not. And honestly, the biggest letdown overall is the fuel economy. Especially right now when the gas prices are high. Thankfully, they're starting to taper down a little bit. But still, under 40 miles per gallon for something like this, there are a lot of bikes out there that do much better. I'm sure you lose a little bit of efficiency with the shaft, but if you're looking for something super reliable, I would recommend this bike. Definitely a little underwhelming, but hey, I still have it. It survived a week, so we'll see how long it lasts on the channel. I thought about going the go roughly route and getting a rack for the back, but he's just a big dog. He's like 90 pounds, and I don't know. I still might try that option in the future, but to order the rack from Go Roughly, it's pretty expensive. We could build something similar.
Woo! I'm stoked.
And Lex is gonna be the first one to ride it.
What? Get out of here.
But yeah, I have never had an adventure bike before. I did a lot of research about it, and I think the Super Tenere is gonna be a good fit for the channel. It is definitely a heavy bike, especially compared to a lot of the other options out there, the GS, the Africa Twin. It's pretty much the heaviest in class, but it is also the most reliable, and for the small percentage of people that have taken them off-road, they say they do very well. So I'm really curious. I love the looks of the bike. I love that it's shaft drive. I think it's going to be a super reliable, fun bike to ride. It already comes with the 2 factory panniers, and I just think it's going to be a solid adventure bike. And yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I have no idea what we're getting into. I don't think that I've ever ridden an adventure bike from what I can remember. And this is definitely the most powerful bike that I've ridden in a while. I guess the Fireblade would probably top that. But the guy says it's pretty clean. We got him down to a good price. We're about 20 minutes away. We'll see what happens.
Stay tuned. Ténéré. Look at them miles, though.
Ooh, better than the Ténéré. Oh, look who's up to join us. How's it going, DZDs? Not a fan of the camera, eh? Gonna turn your booty hole. What do you say, buddy? This is all for you. You better be excited. Do you want to go on a ride? Do you want to go on a ride on the Ténéré?
5 minutes in, we're getting off. I think he has to pee, or he's too hot.
Fill up.
Somebody said the gas light was blinking.
She's an eater.
What you think, Deez? You excited?
20 bucks.
Wow, holy cow. Gas guzzler.
4.5 gallons in there.
That's a big tank.
Let's get her back to the farm.
Damn.
What's up?
Damn.
Professional ADV rider, sponsored by Nike.
Well, first thoughts? That was a nice braking ride.
Yeah, it was. What was that, 100 miles? Very smooth. I need to raise the windshield up a little bit. My head was kind of buffeting all over the place. But other than that, yeah, it's a smooth bike. We need to flash the ECU, get an exhaust, get some crash protection, some handlebars, some grips, and then we'll be good to go.
That's a long list.
Yeah, I like it though. It's smooth. I mean, it's exactly like the review state. It's very easy to ride and just kind of meh, but that's what you're looking for on a road trip vehicle. So
Is the comfortable, like, position comfortable?
yeah, the seating position is very comfortable.
Good, good.